Black History Month takes place each year in October. It's a time to celebrate the contribution of Black people to all aspects of UK life, and to take stock of the challenges the UK still faces in tackling racism and integration. Black History Month is a great opportunity to recognise and celebrate the contribution of Black men and women who've made their homes in the UK since at least the 12th century, acknowledging the sacrifices of the Windrush generation who helped rebuild our country following the catastrophe of World War II, and the generations of Britons with African heritage who followed them, helping to shape and enrich the British way of life. But Black History Month is also a chance to consider where we are on race as a nation, and to highlight some of the challenges ahead. This year's theme, Saluting Our Sisters, focuses on highlighting Black women, their part in our history, and the role that they play in helping to shape and build the future. Walter Tull, one of England's first Black footballers, and the British Army's first ever Black officer to command World White troops in World War I. Second Lieutenant Walter Tull died whilst engaged in combat near Arras in northern France. He was 29. Orphaned at a young age, he was spotted by Tottenham Hotspur and played at White Hart Lane. He was subject to horrendous racist abuse. In spite of this, he was fiercely patriotic. He enlisted in a footballers' battalion in Middlesex at the outbreak of World War I, and despite suffering shell shock, returned to the front where he served in Italy. He was cited for gallantry and coolness after leading 26 men in a night raid against enemy troops. The how is very simple. Talking about Black British history, learning about it, consuming it, discussing it, sharing it. This should be done all year long, not just in October. Celebrating the achievements of the Black British community in the arts, in commerce, in civil rights, in sport, and taking a pause to reflect on the significant challenges in reaching these milestones each member of the Black community would have faced. I'd recommend reading David Olusoga's books and watching his TV series, Black and British, A Forgotten History. As a former co-chair of the FCDO's Race and Ethnicity Network, I've spoken at length about Black History Month. It's an especially important time of year for me personally. I believe Black British history is one of the most important elements of British history, and the contribution of Black Britons to British history is substantial. This tends to surprise people. People know of Lewis Hamilton, Mo Farah and Lenny Henry, but they are less familiar with other figures that date much further back. There were even Black Victorians and Black Georgians. This includes Oluda Equiano, the former slave, writer and abolitionist from the 18th century, or even the German princess who became the British Queen Charlotte to King George III in 1761, who would later be the mother to George IV and William IV. She had African ancestry from the Portuguese royal family. Seeing school children in the UK today picking up the Black curriculum and learning about these and other historical figures is a really great achievement, and it's a good example of positive change in the UK.